Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. We got another filming stories thing that we're gonna do today. We did one earlier this month, and that one was pretty heavy. But this one I kind of want to do just because there was a recent thing that happened that correlates those stories, um, and I think it's just kind of giving more of an insider scoop as to how just the struggle, with like sometimes working with certain production companies or just trying to talk to certain people, you know what I mean? Um, so, so I'm just gonna go on a bit of a ramble. So, excuse me, that's just how this kind of videos kind of go. So, um, but yeah, so we're just kind of just, talk about some of my experiences with stuff like this. So to do this, I have to bring up the film that I brought up before, which was One, which was the film I talked about in the last video, where I was all fucked up and crazed like that. Um, After we had gotten that movie done, after it was finished, or I think that um, yeah, we got the skinny portions done, but we didn't finish the other portions yet. Um, I wanted to start hooking up with people. I wanted to start getting the ball rolling and start seeing what the movie could look like. Because I was kind of impatient at that time. Um, so so I started reaching out to some productions around here, and I'm not gonna name any names just because I don't want to to throw any companies under the bus, um, but I'll just there was a couple people that I had reached out to, um, and um, I think that for the start it was okay. There were some people that seemed legit. They were willing to play ball, and they were willing to to mess with what I was working with. They were with it. Um, and it's a job, obviously. So we were talking about scheduling and all that sort of stuff. That stuff fell through because, well, I just couldn't afford them, to be honest with you. Um, so then I went to other places, and these places I have now been to more than once. Let's just say that, because I was working on something recently. Ultimately, I'm gonna say that I'm not working on it anymore just because of personal reasons. I'll actually talk about it more in the next filming stories video, um, but these places I've now been around multiple times, or at least I've made contact with multiple times. And here's how it went for me personally with pitching to these production companies. And I don't know if this is just regular practice. I don't know if this is just just how the business operates. You know what I mean? I have a feeling it probably is, just because of the manner of just all the phone calls and shit. But here's how it went down for me. Um, so the first time I reached out to one of these production companies, it was during One. So that's when I was making the rounds and shit. And I reached out to this one production company that was based in San Diego, and they were like a pretty well known company in the city, and they were legit. There was a lot of people that would recommend them and stuff like that. So I went and reached out to these guys, and I sent them an email outlining what the story was and all that sort of stuff, and talking about what I would need done. Now, in hindsight, I shouldn't have pitched it at the time because the movie wasn't completely done. We weren't completely done with filming, so it was like, I kind of fucked up on that regard. So, it should have been finished. So, so they had more leeway to not pursue that project. I understand why, because it wasn't done. So, um, but I pitched it to them, right, and I sent the email and everything, and a week goes by, and I don't hear from them, and I figure, okay, you know what, let me hit them up, let me see where we're at. And I reach out to this company, and I say, hey, I sent you guys an email about a project that I was curious to collaborate with you guys on, and I was wondering if you guys, got an update. And the word was that came back to me was that that pitch was actually in a meeting that they were about to, conduct. They were saying, "Oh, I'm about to walk into a meeting. Actually, we're gonna start, talking about pitches. Your pitch is in that meeting." I was like, "Oh, cool. I'll just call back later." Um, so I think like a day or two passed, and I decided to call him back because the meeting was literally that day. So I was like, hey, out of respect, I'm gonna give him like a day or two. So then a day or two goes by, decided to call him up, and my phone number is blocked. They blocked my number. They blocked my number, and I don't recall calling them like multiple times. I think I maybe called them in total like 3 times. The first time was the first time was because I sent the email out and a few days went by. There was another one that I did a few days later, and that one was when the pitch was, when they told me that the pitch was in the, in the meeting. Then the third time was when they blocked me. So, and it's like listen, I'm not gonna force people to work on my projects. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't mess with my craft, like, that's fine. Like, if you're not about the way I tell my stories, if you're not about the type of stories that I'm telling, hey, that's fine. I mean, that film in particular was kind of graphic. You know what I mean? Kind of dark. Pretty dark actually. So, you know what I mean? So it's, like I get it, but and I have a feeling this probably is like, standard practice, but it's like the disrespect that was given, not calling me back, or even going as further to block my number. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't do nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I was just at that point I was like, what, maybe like 18. I think I was like 18, 19 at the time. Fresh adult, and I mean, I was just a very passionate kid. I was very eager, and what I mean, like, I didn't mean no disrespect with all the phone calls. It was just with just anticipation. Like I said, I was a very impatient kid. So to not have the respect given back, to not even like just tell me like, hey, what happened to it. What I mean? I felt like that was just not cool. So I ended up deleting the email that I sent to them, because I was like, you're not gonna take my project, because I thought that too. I was like, oh, y'all just trying to, get your piece or whatever. Like, no, you're not gonna take whatever I'm pitching. You know what I mean? Thankfully, though, I talked to an editor that I worked with in the past, and we got the ball rolling, and we released that thing. But that has happened again recently. So again, not naming the production company or anything like that, but went and did the rounds again, because this time in general, though, I'll just say this project was more, I'm not going to say too much about the project yet. I'm going to save that for another video, just to kind of detail what was going on there. But needless to say, it was more real. Like, one had its own, gruesomeness, its own graphic content. This one was going to take it another step further. There was going to be a little more personal stuff integrated into that film, and it was actually quite destructive too, man. I mean, like, I pitched it to my editor, dude, and he did not fuck with it at all. Like, he was cool when we talked about it, but I have not heard from that man since I pitched the thing. You know what I mean? So, and like, maybe I came off insensitive, maybe I was too aggressive, like, and I've apologized on end to him, dude. I mean, it was just crazy, because I thought we were cool, so, but I'll talk more about that in another video. But since that option wasn't on the table, right, with the editor that I usually messed with, I went and did the production thing again. So I started talking to other people again, and I started, making the rounds, seeing who I can mess with and all that. And I reached out to another company, and this time they actually answered my first phone call. So that was, that was different. But because in the past I would make phone calls and they would not answer the phone. Like, it's just like you got to find like a good point to like talk to these people. So finally got talking to this one dude, and I had already sent an email, right? So then I decided a few days later to follow it up with a phone call. So called him up, and he answers, and we talk about it for a little bit. I'm like, hey, this is how it is. This is my project. This is what I would need done. Talking about this and that, and he says something to me that like it was something that we were going to talk about, but it was just the language of how he presented it. He was like, look, we're a company in the business to make money. We're in the business to make money here, and keep in mind, he didn't know what the pitch was because he didn't actually look at the email. You know what I mean? So, like, so I'm giving him like an overview of what I would want done. And I said I'm pretty sure I said in the phone call, I was like, yeah, dude, I mean, we'll talk about payments, it's like, all that shit was like, I'm not stupid, like, I know that I'm gonna have to pay you off and all that, so then he's like, all right, cool, well, let me look at what you got and I'll get back to you, right? I was like, cool, all right, he said I'll get back to you, like the way he made it out, it was like, oh, probably like a day or two, you know what I mean? It's now been almost a week and a half, going on 2 weeks, and I've been here before, dude. Like, I know what's going down. That dude is not gonna call me back, and like, I'll be real with you. Last night I had the idea to like just call him up because I'm not about this disrespect. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I don't appreciate the silence. You know what I mean? It's like just have the balls to just tell me that you don't mess with it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get why why you think that's like, to me that just makes you look bad in your business. You know what I mean? Like, you saying you want to build a business, it's like, like, you got to show respect to your clients too. Like, that's like, I don't know, like that's kind of it was kind of it was kind of messed up. So because it's like you see these guys and you see what they do, and it's like you think that maybe they can help you out in some respects when they don't mess with you. And it's not because of viewing your project. Sometimes it's like they just simply don't care. Be like, you have to pitch your shit correctly. I've learned, like, you have to make it known to these guys that there's money on the table. You know what I mean? Like, it's not expected. Like, they want to hear it. Like, if they don't hear it, they're not gonna mess with you. They don't care about what project you're bringing to the table. They don't care if it's the most personal shit in the world. Like, that my project was, like, it's they don't care about all that shit. What they care about is the money. They care about how much money we're gonna get, what kind of schedule you got laid out. Like, that's what they want to know. And I lead more with the artistry. I would hope that they just expect me to pay. You know what I mean? I don't like to make it sound like it's a business thing, even though it is in at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that I'm just kind of tired of, honestly. Like, I don't like the language of how they talk about it. Like, it just comes across more like, oh, well, it's like they view it more as a job than an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, like, I would like it to be viewed more as an artistic endeavor than a chance to make a couple bucks. You know what I mean? So, but that's not how they roll. At least that's how they made it clear to me based on all those phone calls and just the emails that I was sending and stuff like that. Like, the silence that's given at the end of the day, dude, like, it rubs me the wrong way, because I'm just not the type of dude to be disrespected. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mess with that. Like, or I don't appreciate it when it happens. But personally, I'm not gonna say nothing to them, like, because that's just beneath me. I mean, who am I to go over there and start saying all this, like, hey, what's up with you? Why didn't you call me back and all that stuff? Like, you know, I would be justified in doing it, but it's like it's also petty. You know what I mean? So, what they did was kind of, was not cool. But it's like, what am I, what who am I to do, to do it back to them, so, but, what I mean, like, it just shows again, because I'd say to my bro all the time, it's like, it's not easy, it's not easy to be, to find people that, like, it's not easy to stay true to yourself, really, and just stay true to what to your stuff, you know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure that the other reasons are more with the material as well. Like, I'm pretty sure that they just are not about that kind of material. I'm pretty sure if I pitched something else that was a lot more tame, let's say, I think that they might be more considerate of what I was doing or what I was bringing, but that's not how I roll. I'm very emotionally driven, in terms of a storyteller, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't change those sensibilities, you know what I mean? So, but it is what it is, I guess. But it is, I do wish that there was some respect that was given, because I'm not bringing any disrespect. They're the ones bringing the disrespect, and I wish that there was just some respect given, because it's like, all I'm doing is just trying to work with you guys and trying to collaborate and all that. So when you don't give me a phone call back, even an email back, even a message back, like, it just tells me y'all's kind of exclusive, you know what I mean, and just kind of shitty people, because that's just that, to me, that's just messed up, that if you don't ever make a reply or give any suggestions, you know what I mean, it's just fucked, you know what I mean. So, but for that project, dude, I mean, like, yeah, I really probably shouldn't be releasing it anyway. So, and we'll talk more about it in the next one. But I just kind of wanted to go on a little bit of a ramble, kind of let it out for a little bit, just because it kind of got to me last night, and I just kind of wanted to just kind of air it out on camera. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't mess with people who are gonna disrespect me, and I just wish that there would be a little bit more respect, given to your clients and stuff like that, because it's like, I just, like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, you know what I mean? I'm not saying anything stupid, I'm not, undermining them, I'm not trying to, underpay them either. Like, I'm gonna give you what you want to work, what you want, because I'm coming to you, so you make the, you set the precedent, you set the payment, you know what I mean, and I'll work with it, you know what I mean. But if you're not even gonna call me back, and you know what I mean, like, just shut me out like that, it's like what the hell, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not cool, So, but but I can kind of get it from one person's point of view, like my editor. I get why he did it, because we'll talk more about it in the next video, but it's like, I can understand where he's coming from, but the other dudes, it's like, yeah, I mean, I would I don't know, I just took it the wrong way, or I just took it it didn't rub me the right way. So, but I mean, that's what it's to me anyway. It seems like that's just how it is, and I'm just kind of getting tired of the disrespect. But you guys know your thoughts. If you guys had to pitch anything to production companies, any local companies, I don't know if you guys have had any experience with that sort of thing. You guys let me know. Is this just isolated incidences? Like, am I just am I just just been dealing with some bad people, or is this just the common practice? Like, you guys know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Got more reviews down the pipe, dude, telling you just keeping the ball rolling. Um, but uh, but yeah, appreciate y'all, just letting me just kind of vent for a little bit. Um, I shouldn't let it get to me because it's just minuscule. Just it doesn't mean anything. But when you work on something and then people, when you work on something and then it's like, some people, it's my bad. I shouldn't have had set expectations. You know what I mean? So that's my bad. Um, but uh, but yeah, that's my little ramble for you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in, and until then, I will catch you guys in the next video.